Okay, 7 picks down. 5 have been underclassmen, 2 seniors. Quinn Daly, of course, a junior out of San Francisco. And now we are up to pick number 8, Indiana. Initially, it was believed the Pacers would be going for a backcourt man with Johnny Davis and Don Buzzi being free agents, but still out there, Clark Kellogg. You know, earlier we talked about some guys who may slip down. Clark Kellogg is one man that has, along with another big man, Cliff Livingston out of Wichita State.
Of course, Indiana needs some help inside. This past season, it showed they have to get some people that can work inside. Their guard situation is suspect, and they could always reinforce that particular area. But as you said, some of these fellows who were going to go very high, all of a sudden now the position has changed. And I think it's going to be an exciting afternoon. I think there's a lot of tension here. There's a lot of anxiety, a lot of apprehension. And it's really like a Hollywood premiere. It really is.
Could I have your attention, please? Indiana picks 6'7", 215-pound forward from Ohio State, Clark Kellogg.
Indiana Pacers, the Pacers taking their time, almost the full 5 minutes. Obviously, this was not in their designs and had to rethink it and could not pass it by.
Well, you know, there's a great player like Eddie Phillips, too, who played down at Alabama. You know, the similarity is very, very close. Now, who do you pick? So I think that Indiana had a real big selection to make. This is important to them. They have to reinforce themselves. This past year, their season was down a little bit. They have to make a quick comeback.
Well, some of the New York fans salivating, even booing now that the Knicks did not get Clark Kellogg, although they had the opportunity. A junior out of Cleveland, Ohio. 16 points, 11 rebounds a game. Big man, 6'7", 225 pounds. Clark Kellogg has been selected by the Indiana Pacers.
You know, he reminds me of Lenny Sheldon, the fellows that the Knicks had a few years ago, is now playing out in Seattle. Excellent player. Possibly has a little more maneuverability outside. But that type of man that goes to the boards, a bull, inside game, power forward, can run, I think it was an excellent choice for Indiana.
Doesn't have to go too far. From Ohio to Indiana, known as the Log. And Eddie Doucette has the Log, Clark Kellogg, right now.
Much has been said about Clark Kellogg recently. A lot of people always make the point very clear that Clark Kellogg is a very intelligent basketball player. You probably weren't as excited about your college career as you might have been coming out of high school, probably the most heralded player in the country, but yet you became the MVP in the Big Ten last year. You're ready for the pros?
I think I am. I had an outstanding year last year, and I think our team did a little better than people thought we were going to do. So I'm looking forward to the challenge of the NBA. All
right, now you go to Indiana, our good friend Jack McKinney, and, of course, Herb Williams, who you played with over there at OSU. That ought to be helpful.
Oh, for sure. I'm glad to be with Herb, and I think we can work well together, and maybe we'll get a chance to start Indiana on the winning track.
Bobby Knight, who has made news already today, we've quoted him once before, said that Clark Kellogg is perhaps the best power forward in the country. You ready to live up to those kind of plaudits?
I'd sure like to try.
Well, I think that perhaps you're going to get a good opportunity. Indiana, it was said, perhaps might go to a big guard, but yet they've come away with the man they thought was the best available choice in this particular spot. A lot of people didn't think you'd be available at this far down, but here you are, and, of course, now a chance to go with the Pacers.
Right, I'm happy about it. I kind of felt I might go between 4 and 7, but that didn't happen, so I'm glad to be going 8th to Indiana.
This may become an avocation, even though I'm sure you're going to give it your best shot. You became an insurance agent at age 18. How's that working out?
It's going pretty well. I haven't had a lot of time this summer to really concentrate on that because of the draft and making this transition, but I think I'm going to pursue that during the off-season of my professional career and also after pro ball.
Clark Kellogg, we're going to be looking forward to some of his smart decisions on the floor for the Indiana Pacers, and we're going to go right now to Al Albert. Al?